Hi everybody, we're going to go over the second page to your review now. And I'm going to get my pen ready first. And looks like we're all set. Okay, so let's take this first one. First step, what we're going to do is we're going to copy down what we have. And I'm going to abbreviate that. Okay, let's put in our next bubble. So milliliters are going to go down here. Liters are going to go up there. Now remember, milli is 1,000th of, which means that there's 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So I'm going to cancel my milliliters, and I'm going to end up with 35 liters, because 35,000 times 1 divided by 1,000 gives us 35. So there's my answer. Okay, for number 6, I'd like you guys to get rid of the kilo there. We're just going to do grams. And so we're going to go 0.0052 centigrams over to grams. So grams is what I want, it goes up there. Centigrams is what I don't want, so that's going to go down there. And so there is 100, remember 100, kind of like there's 100 centimeters in a meter, there's 100 centigrams in a gram. Okay, so I'm going to cancel those. And so I'm going to get an even smaller number. So I'm going to get, as my answer, I'm going to write it over here. Just like that. Okay, so 4 zeros and then the 5, 2. All right, so you can just enter that in your calculator. So this number divided by this number. Okay, number 7, 4.342 liters. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cancel out the liters, get what I want. So there's 1,000 milliliters in every 1 liter. Everything on top gets multiplied, so that's going to be 4,342. Remember, our liters cancel, so that's actually going to be in milliliters. And we don't really have to divide by 1. I could write that down, but I'm going to go ahead and skip that step. So there's my answer right there. All right, number 8 gets a little more complicated. So he's going a speed of 90 kilometers per hour. Okay, so the way we're going to write that is 90 kilometers per every 1 hour. I'm going to throw that into a bubble. Okay, speed limit is 65 miles an hour. Is he in danger of getting a ticket? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to want to change kilometers into miles. So I don't want my answer in kilometers, I want miles, because I want to see, is he going faster or not? Okay, and they tell me 1 mile is the same as 1.61 kilometers. All right, now that I'm all set up here, I am going to cross out my kilometers. And in my calculator, I'm going to say 90 divided by 1.61, because 1 times 1.61, and don't forget we have hours here. Okay, that hasn't canceled. So 90 divided by 1.61 in my calculator gives me 55.9 miles per hour. Okay, so miles per hour, that's our unit, stays the same. And then I just divide these two. So he is not going to get a ticket. So I'm going to say no, he won't. Okay, how fast is he going in meters per second? Okay, this one gets a little tougher. This would be like an extra credit on the test. All right, so he's going 90 kilometers per hour. All right, so we want to change that into meters per second. So what we can do is we can just do this one at a time. So I'm going to cancel kilometers, get meters. So there's 1,000 meters in every 1 kilometer. Okay, and now I'm left with meters per hour. So we want meters per second. So I know that every 1 hour has 60 minutes. So now my hours cancel. Okay, we still don't like minutes, we want seconds. So let's just add another bubble on. And 1 minute is 60 seconds. Okay, again, this is for those of you guys who are super ambitious and want to get going with this stuff, but this is what you would do if you have a lot of stuff to convert. Now, the concept's still the same. Multiply everything on the top. So it would be 90,000 on top. Okay, on the bottom, 60 times 60 is 3,600. So I'm just going to do that math in my calculator. Okay, and I get 25. And notice I'm left with meters over seconds. Meters over seconds. So there's my answer. All right, if you don't think you could ever do that on your own, that's all right. Just write down what I did, and that's just going to be extra credit. Okay, now let's look at these other math skills that you guys do have to definitely know. So second decimal place, that means we want to keep 2 numbers after the decimal. So I'm going to go 4.3. I always want to check, do I want to round up or not? So it's 425 there. So there's a 2 next door. I'm just going to leave it at a 4. Okay, the next one, 23.5. And since the 2 is right next to a 5, anything 5 and bigger, I'm going to round up. That would be 23.53. Okay, scientific notation. So that seems to be how you would enter it in a calculator. You're going to use that E button. But what that really means is 5.36 times 10 to the negative 6 power. All right, letter B. Decimal lives right there. I'm going to move it over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. So I get 4.246 times 10 to the positive 6 this time. All right, this is a really, really small decimal, so I know my exponent there is going to be negative. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces. 3.5 times 10 to the negative 7th would be your answer. Alrighty. Let's keep moving on. Okay, so now I want the equation in terms of m. That means we're going to solve for m. We want m equals something. So m's right there. So I'm going to multiply both sides by x. Okay, so that's a little confusing with the multiplication sign being the same, but x is going to cancel here. So I get ym equals lx here. And I'm going to divide y over. Y's are going to cancel. So there's my answer. Lx over y. All right, the next one we want it in terms of x. So I'm going to rewrite the equation that we're starting with. And let's do it again. So this time we want x by itself, so I'm going to get it out of the denominator first. So I'm going to multiply both sides by x, so they cancel. So now I have ym equals lx. Divide by L, and I get x by itself. So x equals ym divided by L. All right, so that's the second page, so check the other videos for the other part.